I'm not exactly sure how this routine came about, but after a few months, it seemed normal to me. Hell, it even grew on me. Every morning, I would wake up at 5:45 and drive to the restaurant I worked at. I was the opening manager, and I'd arrive by 6, sit at the back, and count the till from the night before. We actually opened at 7, so I had an hour to do my work before the rest of my crew arrived and customers would come. However, I wasn't alone. Like I said, this became routine. There was a large industrial freezer behind where I counted the till. Truth be told, I never heard it climb down from the top of it. Never heard the roof tile slide open, but halfway through counting, I would turn my head and it would be sitting next to me. Close. It was like a large dog, but completely hairless, pale skin. However, its face was more simian in nature, almost human. The creature had a visible scar across the top of its head. It would crawl over to me and sit shoulder to shoulder. I would pet it. Its skin was very coarse, almost like sandpaper. This would go on for about 30 seconds, and it would nuzzle its head against me and crawl back on top of the freezer and into the darkness of the roof. Like I said, it eventually became another part of my morning routine. It wasn't dangerous, just a lost animal looking for attention and love. It was like a pet to me. Old, hairless. I never told anyone. People would think that I was insane. It was just routine. Eventually, I was transferred to a different restaurant. Some schism in head office, I suppose. I never met the man who took over my old job. I meant to contact him and tell him about Old Hairless so he could start taking care of it. I regret not mentioning it. I heard the news the very next day that the man who took my job hadn't shown up for work. The crew who came in at 7 said that no manager was there to greet them. Apparently, it wasn't like my replacement not to show up. A few days passed and he was declared missing, and a few more days passed and a foul smell was reported coming from on top of the walk-in freezer. Sure enough, my replacement's body was found up there. I don't know all the details, but I heard the stories after some of the digging I did. They range from a broken neck all the way up to being half eaten. I read that atop of the freezer, in the ceiling panels, were various bones of pigeons and rats, but most peculiar was an old photograph. This is what truly scares me. The police released the photo to the public. It was of a family of 4 and their greyhound dog. From what I've heard, the father in the photo disappeared 20 years ago walking that dog. After I examined the photo more closely, I seemed to know the father. It was his eyes. I would know them anywhere. Old, hairless,